I haven't. And it was in a very easy. And the tremendous volume of noise there set me back a little. So I think the truth of it is that concerts or movies or anything like that I go to in the future, gotta be earplugs. That'll be the way to go. Thank you very much for your good feedback, as I say to the last couple of shows, and thank you for the support that you're giving, because you're making me believe that the work that I'm doing here is worthwhile. I really do want to build this as we go into 2013. I do have an announcement, a small one to make here, but it's a significant one. My webmaster, Adam Cornwell, at Creative Hotspot in the top guy who's given me such tremendous help these last few years, tells me that, and I can tell you, last year, The Unexplained has had 500,000 online listener hours. Now that's 500,000 we know, and that equates with a small to medium-sized radio station, which is fantastic. Bearing in mind how we do this show, so it's a small production, and gets it out to you. That is amazing, thank you very much, but we need to make this bigger. I want to go places that you can't even imagine this show. I can cast as any mainstream out, but let me be ethos, so guys, be independent. It will not be in, not have our arm twisted up our back by. And we endeavour all to do a good job. That's once again, let's talk about the show. Okay. Not too bad. I had my tremendous amounts of this I call show now. Which is bizarre because forecasters were predicting early in 20. And that's not because it's definitely changing. And the next thing they're saying is that if you see they call and if you want to contact me, by the way, I love to get your mails, your feedback, and guest suggestions. The Ask.T, as I say, Adam Cornwell and Creed, which is good and so. And of you, because we know that a lot of us do have experience because of the fear of perhaps advancing themselves in careers or professional ramifications or just he's got some as they say, and I think they felt comfortable. You know, you had the stamp of credibility about it.
Well, that's really the reason why I came forward to try to bring air of credibility to the subject that in media is largely ridiculed. I think that is just the sightings, the best sightings, and the media are downplayed.
They are, and the reason you want is in, I think, and I'm sure you'd agree with us because that's why you tell me, the fact that you're involved in this important is because you are working in a uniform service, and a lot of people, because of when they work, what they do, and how they work, are inclined to have parallel contacts, and most don't ever report them. My dad was a policeman for 30 years in the first of all, constabulary, and then sides as it out. And at that time, my father had experiences. He was experiencing very credible ghost stories because he was a serving policeman, and because culture in a big organisation is like, he tended, apart from telling us around the fireside at Christmas, he tended not to talk about those experiences. And a lot of people, I think, who wear uniforms, pilots or emergency service workers, or are disinclined to tell what they... Do you find that's the case? I guess you...
Absolutely, it's the principal reason why people don't go. It's very to a fear of seeing risk to their career. And if they do, head of power. So I think in all these kind of pilots, radar operators, sonar operators, air traffic officers, anybody who's in time service, they are mass sighting. It's very time. And I suspect even my research now says, because I've not gone and now and I've now asked around 9 officers at research. That's a hell of a lot, but I still think it's as tip of nice. Just don't even know about me, don't know my work, and probably still very reluctant to come forward for fear of me.
I'm not sure if there's a limit on how far you can talk about it, but tell me about your job in service. You're in the police, aren't you?
Yes, I've been a police officer since 1989. What I can tell you, Howard, job now. They were when I began my research. What I mean by that is about years ago, 5 years ago, some pressure started to shall we say job, and at one point it led to be given a 12 moment because of my research, which was quite a frightening occasion.
Let's just explain that. So you were lent on to some extent by senior officers. On what grounds? Why did they think this was a problem?
Well, this arose. I have to be careful what I say because I'm still a servant.
No, that's fine.
But I'm saying it's not true. Basically, I bought to the MLD in late 2009. They suddenly decided to close this guy.
That's Britain's Ministry of Defence, and the person who was in charge of collecting wasn't income.
Well, there between 2009 I still announced outside now I still to fight age the new see electricity
Very good question to ask, Gary, and who's better to ask it than somebody who's in the police?
Absolutely. So I and said very distressed I suggest direct those people to me. In a private capacity, I will take research in my time out of work, which I thought was a sensible. So this could be those. And basically, there's about 20 guys see antiques, say, stop this, and basically, yes, thanks for bringing our attention. Get back to you.
This is truly a sign from Ruta.
Balls from 2 of those forces that are
Behind the
into
rocks,
the
beetles, around the Johad's beetles. Last night I woke up and one was in my tent just watching me. You are work.
That's good, because in this country,
going to run out of
we
water.
have, and I think in America it's the same situation, isn't it?
Camps.
Police forces in this country are independent, separate, autonomous organizations that means to talk of a national. That has not.
I'm done dodging bugs. You want to help? Speak to Overseer Jahi. She's in charge. This is her problem.
But bottom line, just as police forces are preparing to respond, and I think wrong, I then told that I was subject to this bringing force into disrepute, and quite how that happened. But private letter, private response, just asking an outline what it did. I said I
by
did.
water. I apologize for the sorry
I
to
said,
the Johad's.
My
brother was all but ruined.
discipline.
Told
Because
it
I
all
said,
to me to get his family out of this.
Right, and you didn't refer it up to whoever your commanding officer was before you did it.
Whatever's turned to the Johad seems to attract the desert beetles. Workers won't go near the Johads, and with good reason. But I still need to find out what's contaminated our lifeblood. I do. The workers have rest camps in between the Johads. If someone brought in this poison, there may be evidence right there. If you can find something to bring it to me. I'll be at the main Johad.
I can't say at this time any more than I'm really saying now. Suffice to say that it ends. It's a big organisation. I had 12 forces to distribute. I mentioned
there are reservoirs. Even in the desert, there's moisture in the air.
Basically,
the rain
all
catchers collect
cases
it
that I
and
have,
funnel it into the Johad.
the source,
They then carry the water to the city in large urns. Or at least, that's pretty normal. Almore? Where you see the heaviest work done. Look for him elsewhere. It's our family's business. He should show proper pride in our work. Oh, well. I can take care of the Johads once these beetles are gone.
It would have made, had it been, and I didn't see it reported in the press, because I don't think it's in news. Just now, very unfair that should happen. Because think about it, if Caravan was and that happened. He's like, I think they were on very shit.
Well, that's my part of big organisation. So that's perhaps for the day.
Sure. Okay, you're going to be exiting.
Yeah, I'm in the house.
So presumably in the years, and you're going to tell Cam years, you have enough evidence to come. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Jahi sent you, didn't she?
That
smell. It's the same that's coming up from the Johads. Is that what was in the bottle you picked up? Jahi will never believe me, but I want to find out who did this as much as she.
I
know, and in a way it is.
to
My
write
father put me in charge of the Johhads after I returned from Sentinel. Within a fortnight, most of the Johhads reeked of this musk. Even so, I have no idea how any of this happened. Only one way to know for sure. A taste test. These three Johhads are the ones attracting the most beetles. See if the water has the same flavor as that vial. She has her reasons, and I respect them as I do her. It would make no difference if I defend myself now. The important thing is that we find out what's happened to the Johhads.
And he was the cult. I would have thought that this would be something should have done years ago. Someone should have picked on this a long time ago. Great British.
I have been told, now true it is, I don't know, but I've been told by some that people like George and Steve Spielberg some story, but because it's not some place, it's not hero John. So that's I think that obviously I've worked with John Bolton, so players, and it's very credible. And he's called Three Nights in December, which is trying to be successful in 28th December.
Which just happened to occur at an American military base, an air base, very close to it.
Best, without a shadow of doubt. This is where I've got a strange quirk. My background is between 1983 and I worked at the Royal Air Force as a police officer, and on two of my big major tours I served bases, and exactly the same job as the US Air Force police officers did in Pendleton, including and he's a key of why it happened. This is about, well, so that's why it's for it.
Now, when this show was on national, back in my times, you were a guest on the show. And around my I contacted, I forgot, but it had the recordings, what she said, the lead occasion, and she to hear, I won't say panic, I'm sorry, I haven't got much. I won't say scared. Very easy, but obviously December.
And to think I almost got away from the family business. Father giving it to my younger brother seemed like the perfect compromise. But look where it's brought us. Have you found anything? I recognize this. It's the same kind of vial my brother's wife uses for her alchemy. Ohama's a Khajiit apothecary from Sentinel. I had no quarrel with her, but if she's responsible for this, my father must know. She cares for him in the house just beyond here. Father didn't approve of their marriage, of course, but she is very skilled.
My father told me someone would come. You approach the camp of the Ashaba. Wait. I recognize you from Faharajad's palace. He would not listen to us. And now, we all pay for his stubbornness. Faharajad sent you to ask for our help? Now? The nerve of this king. Well, if you seek my father, you should know he and many other of our warriors are extremely ill. Some are dead. Our water, I suspect it was the necromancers, the withered hand, but it is of little importance now. All that matters is finding the ingredients for the antidote. If my father dies, there is no Ashaba for the king to call upon. Come quickly, then. Meet me at my tent in the camp.
I welcome you to my father's home. Please, excuse our scant hospitality. I've been tending to Naseran day and night, and it leaves little time to prepare for guests. How may I aid you? It is mine. A rare bug musk, used in some Basmar cooking, if I recall. I thought I'd misplaced it on the trip here. Tell me, where did you find it? Blessed Baal! Tuaka, I beg you keep your voice down. My father-in-law would truly turn me out if he heard such rumors. How could it be? I swear upon my very clothes. Still, I would not know. Many of the workers come in and out of the house for refreshments. So perhaps one of them took it. But still, why would they do such a thing? Oh, it is strange, but wait and listen. Outside, a woman peddles her trained lizards. Ask if her pets can track scents, such as this bug musk. Just holding the vial leaves a residue on one's hands. If you find who held the vial, you'll find who stole it.
Here. I've marked on your map where my father says we can find the ingredients. Lead the way. believed the withered hand would poison our water. We must hurry. So many Ashaba have already died. I will see my fallen brothers and sister avenged, even if it is the last thing I ever do. If you are leaving the area, I cannot accompany you. I will return to
Sand covers all. Know this, like all things, the pearl was covered in sand. Thus it came to belong to Zet, who works the land. When the pearl is uncovered, the time of Sep's hunger will be over, and water will run from the pearl all over the dead skins, and the hungry stomach will at last be full. The spawn of Satakal are weakened by the waters. One sound will open the way, and one sound will close it. Take the call and find a goat. Use the call to lead the goat across the water as an offering to the beast. Only then it will be sated, and only then can you return to me. The pearl is the way and the guide. It is the light to the far shores and back again, as they are placed by tall Papa's hand. So it begins again. Satak was the first serpent. Satakal eats himself, and the spirits move to the far shores to wait for their next skin. Ruptka became the tall papa, and he made the great map with the stars in his hand. When Sepp tricked the spirits, he put a star in his pocket. This was the pearl that fell out when Tall Papa squashed Sepp with his staff. Sand covered the pearl. Thus it came to Zet, who works the land. When the pearl is uncovered, the time of Sepp's hunger will be over. Water from the pearl will run over the skins, and the hungry stomach will at last be full. Know this, the pearl is the way and the guide. It is the light to the far shores and back again, as they are placed by Tall Papa's hand. The only real world is Satakal. You cannot eat the stars. One sound will open the way, and one sound will close it. This is the sound of the worlds, calling something to save them. What answers the call is the hunger. So it begins again. Satak was the first serpent. Satakal eats himself, and the spirits move to the far shores to wait for their next skin.
Can fate be changed, I wonder? Do you believe in fate, my friend? What if I said I was sitting here all my life waiting for you to come? That would be absurd, wouldn't it? No. Fate led both of us here at the perfect moment. In exactly just a few moments, a windstorm will appear right over there. And you, my friend, you will race it across the desert. Because it is my fate to come here and tell you this. Just as it was another's fate to tell me mine, and yet another's before that. Your fate is to race the storm and to win. The question is, are the winds gather even now? The storm will appear here any moment. When it does, you must race. Follow the trail of the blue flames and reach the final flame before the storm does. Are you ready to test your fate, my friend? So you do. And if our fates are true, the wind will wait. I will answer your questions if I can, but know that I am no wise man. I am a dock worker. I only grew this beard and adorned myself so because the woman told me it was my fate to do this. It seems that someone else told her that it was her fate to approach me and send me out here. It was yet another person before that. leading back in an endless chain. That's only if it's all true, of course. But that is what we will test. I do not know. Can you? Even if you can, though, does that mean fate is changeable? Or does it mean that you have strayed from your destined path? Perhaps fate is not damaged by this. Perhaps it would be your loss to bear. No. The woman told me to come out to the desert, find someone I had never met, and observe this strange race. I thought she was crazy, but then I thought about it, and my curiosity won out. And now, I believe, because look, you are here. Then if fate is to be believed, the winds are ready.
Greetings, Sandwalker. I can tell by that look in your eye, you know lizards. Do they speak to you? Do you enjoy the feel of their cool scales against your cheek? Yes, you understand. I know you do. Of course. Did you know lizards smell with their tongues? They are quite adept at detecting even the faintest trace of a scent. I have a fine tracking lizard if you're interested in purchasing one. Jahi would never believe such lies. But if it's for her, I will give you a lizard for your scenting. There, now you have it. Your lizard will find whoever has that.
I suppose that answers the question. The winds gather even now. Then if fate... I suppose the winds gather even now. Then if fate...
How could this happen? The mine. It is collapsing. I left the... We were digging, and then there was a rumbling, and the ceiling began to fall. I thought he was right beside me, but alas, he did not emerge. I would go back, but I had... No, and that is what I fear the most. I would never be able to forgive myself. At the very least, though, I must retrieve his supply pack. Everything is in there. Our maps, our water, our food. Please, go quickly. It would be terrible if the mine collapsed and we did not at least discover my partner's fate. His name is Haidar. I worked for him for many years before he began acknowledging me as his partner rather than his apprentice. I learned much from him, though. I truly hope you're able to get him out of there. No, it is not safe. When a mine becomes unstable like this, there is no way to know when it will collapse completely. It's always a gamble. But you look like you are accustomed to danger and so much... Dwemer gold. It is buried under this desert somewhere. My partner and I worked Kulati mines for some time, but that effort was of no avail. We came here on our own. The fewer people involved, the greater the reward. No, there is no Dwemer gold down there. We had already decided to give up on this mine even before the rumbling began. We had talked of seeking our fortunes in Bankorai, though now I suppose I might be going.
Bold to enter a collapsing mine, stranger. Beware lest you share my fate. No, only my skull was crushed, and this by the tip of my partner's pickaxe. We finally found something of value down here, gems. But in that very moment, I saw the price of my life's blood in her beautiful eye. Yes, and keenly do I feel the need for revenge. In death, I have been granted this opportunity. I have poured my hatred into the gems we found. Give them to her. Give them to Samsi. When I was among the living, I had many questions too. Samsi made sure my questions were put to an end, though. If it will convince you to avenge me, I will answer your questions. What is it you wish to know? They would have been worth a fortune when we found them. But now that they carry my curse, any who take them with greed in their heart will have little time to secure a profit. It is possible Samsi always intended this, or her true self simply emerged when we finally found something of value. I have known Samsi many years, and she has always been jealous. But I have never thought she harbored murderous intentions in her heart. I do not know for certain. It is possible that the gemstones were already cursed before we found them, and this is what caused my spirit to linger. Regardless, I believe achieving vengeance on my killer, the crime of murder, is unforgivable. Whether Samsi was influenced or not is irrelevant. She must pay the consequences. Very well. I hope you are convinced that my cause is just. never rest easy while that murderess lives.